Hello everybody. In this video, let us discuss about HTTP event collectors in Splunk. So, HTTP event collectors are a type of log source ingestion methods. Okay, just like how we do have different type of log sources. Just like how do we have from forwarders, from syslog servers, or from CSV files, or from scripted inputs like that. We do have data coming from different log sources, right? So similarly, HTTP event collectors are mainly used to get the application servers data through HTTP and HTTPS protocols. Okay, directly we can use the HTTP and HTTPS protocols and we can ingest the data into the Splunk environment. So this is very useful for developers and all. So whatever the APIs, okay, that they want to send to the particular Splunk environment, so they can always expose those APIs through some endpoints, okay, and directly through the endpoints we can always ingest the data into the Splunk environment. So that is what we can always do by using HTTP event collectors. Okay, so now let us see how to use these HTTP event collectors and ingest that particular data into Splunk. So if I go to my particular Splunk web interface, this is my Splunk web interface. If I log in with my username and password, so now if you want to go to the HTTP event collectors, right? First of all, we have to go to the settings tab and then we have to click on the data inputs over here. If you click over here, you will be finding this HTTP event collector. See, receive data over HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, that is what he is saying over here. So HTTP event collector is the particular input you have to select. So if you select over here, so you will be finding prominently the global settings, which is disabled right now. That's why you are seeing this red color exclamation mark over here. So these global settings are disabled. So now let us enable by clicking on this particular global settings. So this is the first step that we have to do before creating a particular token. So HTTP event collector, if you want to use, we have to create a token basically. Okay, we have to create a token. So based on the token as the authenticator, okay, we can always ingest the data into the particular Splunk environment. So before creating this token, this new token button is there, right? Before creating this new token, we have to enable the global settings over here. Okay, so now if I click over here, yeah, this is in disabled state. Now I'll be enabling this one. Okay, all tokens I'll be enabling, and I think that earlier I have used it for something. Okay, so default source type, right? So I will be not taking this log4j, but I will be, this log4j is related to application. Okay, so I will be going to this structured data and I'll be taking this JSON. Okay, JSON as the particular token. So with JSON we'll be creating the token. Okay, JSON token will be creating, and index also I will be taking HEC underscore index as my index, not TD underscore index. I have taken earlier, okay, for something else, but now I'll be taking HEC underscore index as the particular default index over here. Okay, so I have already created this index, so I'm taking this as the particular thing, and default output group. Okay, it is not required right now. So in a distributed environment, if you have several indexers, right, so if you want to pass this data whichever that is ingested, okay, by using this JSON token from the APIs and all, so you can always pass it through the particular indexer as well. So you can always configure that thing as well for the default output group. But right now, because we do not have, this is a standalone environment, right? So this is my local system, so we do not have any other indexers, so we did not give this one. And again, we are not also using any deployment server, so we won't select this one as well. And as I'm using my local host, okay, so even it is not HTTPS enabled, so we will not selecting this one as well. So now if you see over here, so HTTP port number, okay, so whenever you are using HTTP and collector as the particular method, right, so you have to use 8088 as the port number. Okay, this is the default port number that Splunk provides for using this HTTP and collector. So if you think that any other service is occupied with this port number and all, then you can change this port number. Otherwise 8088 will be the prominent port number where you have to give your HTTP event collector inputs. Okay, that is the thing that you have to do. So now after giving these things, okay, what I'll be doing, I'll be simply clicking on save, so that see, now the global settings have been enabled with the configurations whatever I have given. See, even the exclamation mark has gone over there. Okay, so that is the thing. And now the next step what I'll be doing, I'll be creating a new token as we have discussed earlier, right? So by using token only we can ingest the data. By using the token as the authentication method, we can always ingest the data into the Splunk environment. Okay, so that's why I'll be creating the new token over here, clicking on the button new token. So here it will be asking a name. Okay, so HEC data, some name like HEC data I will be, or else HEC input I will be giving. Okay, so HEC input. Okay, and here source name override. Okay, this is optional. Okay, source name we can always give, and description also we can always give, but these are all optional. And outgroup as I have specified, right? So this is also optional, where it will be going to different indexers and all. And enable indexer acknowledgement also we can always provide. Okay, so we can, if you check this particular checkbox, so whenever the indexer has got the particular data, it will providing an acknowledgement. So if you check this particular checkbox, even that also you will be enabling. Okay, so all these things we are not giving right now. So what I'll be doing, I'll be just clicking on next. Okay, so clicking on next, and here if you want to give a source type, you can always give source type. Otherwise you can leave it to Splunk itself. It will be automatically providing the particular source type as well. And here I will be taking my HEC underscore index, right? I am going to take HEC underscore index. So here I will be taking HEC underscore index. So this is the allowed indexes. So I'm allowing this particular index, right? So to get the data. Okay, and the default index also I am using the HEC underscore index itself. So these allowed indexes I can create one or more. Okay, so not only HEC underscore index, so even if any other index also if you want to put, I can always put, but this is sufficient, okay, for us in order to check whether the data is ingesting or not. So I'll be using the HEC underscore index as my allowed indexes, and also default index also I'll be having HEC underscore index. So now if I click on review, see, these are the particular review options it will be showing. So input type token we have selected, and the name HEC input we have given, and other than that, okay, we have not enabled all these things. The allowed indexes I have taken as second score index, default index also I have taken as second score index, source type is automatic, and app, okay, it is in launcher app right now. Okay, so I have taken in launcher app context is launcher app. I have not created in the default search app. Okay, let it be. Okay, so now if I click on submit over here, okay, so see, this is the token value it will be creating. Okay, so this is the GUID. Okay, so GUID is nothing but the global user identifier. Okay, so you can always take this particular token value. Okay, you can always copy this one, and you can always use this as the particular authentication in order to ingest the data into the Splunk environment. Okay, so now if you go over here, if you go to the backend, okay, so if I go to my terminal, because it is in my local host, right? So I'll be saying cd root. Okay, if I say cd, if I do ls minus ltr over here, I'll be having applications as the particular folder, applications. Okay, and again if I do ls minus ltr, I'll be finding my Splunk folder, cd Splunk I will be saying. Okay, and now once after going over here, now what we have done over here, okay, if I start searching. Okay, or else if you go over here, okay, data inputs, HTTP event collectors, if I click over here, see, now we have enabled, see, this is the particular thing, okay, so this is the HEC input, is the particular name we have given, and we can always edit or disable or delete, okay, we can always do any of these actions, and this is the token value, whatever it has been created, the JSON token value, we are going to use this one, okay, in order to ingest the data as the authentication method, okay, so, and source step we have not given anything, and index, which index we have taken prominently, HEC underscore index, okay, and the status is enabled, it is saying, okay. So now we have basically configured these global settings and as well as the token, right? So in order to see this one global settings, so if I go to the backend over here, okay, if I go to my etc folder, okay, in etc folder, if I go to apps folder, okay, so I will be finding a folder called, okay, Splunk HTTP input, Splunk HTTP input, okay, if I go to this particular folder again, cd Splunk underscore HTTP input, okay, and if I do ls minus ltr over here, let me expand this one, let me make somewhat big, okay, so I'll be having local folder, and if I go to local folder again, okay, I will be having if I do ls minus ltr, okay, I'll be having inputs.configuration file. So now if you check the contents of this particular file by specifying cat inputs.conf, see, these are the configurations that will be created in the backend as we have done from the particular web interface, whatever the enabling of the particular global settings we have done, right? So this global settings we have enabled, so all these particular things in the form of configurations it has put, see, HTTP as this stanza, so we have enabled, right? That's why disabled equals to 0, that means we have enabled, okay, and enable SSL, we have not enabled SSL, that's why it is also 0, and index, what index name we have given, HEC underscore index we have given, and which source step we have taken over there, underscore JSON, okay, so this is the particular information it is showcasing over here, right? This is one thing, okay, this is the information that is provided for this global settings. And similarly, if you want to see the particular token, okay, this token also we have created, right? So in the backend it will be creating the configurations as well for this particular token, whatever the token we have created. So where we have created, actually this one we have created in the launcher app, okay, launcher app. So if I go backward some 2 steps, okay, I'll be in the apps folder, if I do ls minus ltr over again, okay, over here again, so I'll be finding this launcher app, see, this launcher is the particular app, okay, if I go to this particular app again, cd launcher, okay, I'll be finding again, if I do ls minus ltr, I'll be finding local folder, cd local, if I say again, okay, and if I do ls minus ltr, I'll be finding another inputs.configuration file over here, okay. The earlier inputs.configuration file is related to this particular folder Splunk underscore HTTP input. So this inputs.configuration file is related to the launcher app, where we have used this, from this particular app we have created the particular token, okay. So if I see the contents of this particular file, cat inputs.conf, see, these are the particular inputs, see, HEC input is the name of the token, is the name we have given, right? So with this one, okay, HTTP and colon slash slash HEC input is the token it has created, is the particular stanza it has created, and disabled we have enabled this one, that's why disabled equals to 0, and host is the whatever the machine name is there, my machine name that it has taken as the host, and index HEC underscore index, okay, indexes, okay, whatever the indexes we are going to use, that is also it has taken as HEC underscore index itself, and this is the actual token value that it has created, whatever we have seen from the particular web interface, okay. So the same thing it has also created over here, this particular token value, where we'll be using this particular token value as the authentication in order to ingest the data through the HTTP event collectors. So this is the particular configurations we can always find in the particular inputs.configuration. Okay, both in the apps folder, apps, the particular app folder, okay, and again in the apps and Splunk underscore HTTP input folder as well. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to remember. And now let us see how to ingest the data. Okay, once after copying this one, we have copied, right? So now let us see how to ingest the data, okay, into this Splunk environment, and especially into the HEC underscore particular index. Okay, HEC underscore index. So now for that sake, what I'll be doing, so I do have the particular, okay, I'll be using the CURL request. Okay, so from my local, okay, from my local system itself. Okay, so I'll be using the CURL request and I'll be trying to ingest the data. So all the commands I do have handy over here. I have put all the commands handy. Okay, so now let us try one by one whatever the authentication methods we do have in order to ingest the data into the particular Splunk environment. So here, if you are ingesting, right, as I have specified, I'll be using CURL request. Okay, and here the format that I'll be using, see here it is http colon slash slash localhost colon 8000 slash services slash collector is there, right? So this is the particular format, okay, that I'll be using to ingest the data. So this format is what, this is the protocol, http is the protocol, okay, colon slash slash, this is the server name, colon 8088 is the port number, right? This is the default port number. Whenever we are using HTTP collectors, we have to ingest the data by using this port number only. Okay, so we have to use this 8088 port number, and this is the endpoint. Okay, these are the endpoints. Okay, so slash services slash collector is the endpoint actually. Okay, we will be having two endpoints. One is the slash services slash collector, and other is the slash services slash collector slash raw. Okay, so we will be finding it over here. See, in raw data ingestion we will be seeing that one. See here we will be using this particular another endpoint as well, slash services slash collector slash raw. Okay, these are the two endpoints that we will be using. So what is the format that we will be using actually? So protocol, that is http or https colon slash slash the IP address of the particular server, because I am using my local host only I am using over here. Otherwise I have to give the IP address of the particular server, and 8088 is the HEC port number, HEC collector port number we have to use, and this is the endpoint slash services slash collector. Okay, that is the thing that I will be using. And minus k, this CURL request is there, right? After that one, whatever the minus k is there, it indicates that we are not checking whether it is HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, we are not going to check whether it is HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, so that's why we have specified minus k over here. And again, once after this particular format is there, right, we are giving minus h as the particular thing over here, which indicates that we are using token authentication. Minus h, if we use minus h over here, that indicates that I am using the authorization method as the token authentication. Okay, so similarly if I want to use the admin authentication, right, so I'll be using minus u. See, in the next thing that we'll be seeing the admin authentication, there will be using the minus u as the particular thing over here. Okay, so minus h is for token authentication authorization. Okay, so token authentication directly we'll be doing, but with the Splunk authorization, if you want, you have to use minus h. And if you want to use with the admin authentication, okay, anyhow in both of the things we'll be using the token. Okay, but minus u you'll be using for admin authentication, whereas minus h you will be using for Splunk authentication. Okay, that is what you have to remember. So now what I'll be doing, so in my same local, okay, I am here, right, so I will be going to the root folder again, cd root. I'll be specifying in the same particular terminal itself, in the same command line interface. Okay, and what I'll be doing, I will be, first of all, let us see with this Splunk authentication method. Okay, so what I'll be doing, I'll be copying this one. Okay, I'll be copying this one and I'll be pasting it over here. Okay, and what I have to do, I have to change this token. This is the old token, so whatever the token that we have created freshly right now. Okay, so I'll be copying and I'll be pasting it over here. Okay, so let me do one thing, let me paste it over here. Okay, this is the particular thing. So what I have to do right now over here, I have to move so this is the earlier token value. I'll be removing this one and I will be putting the freshly formed token. Okay, and this is the data. Okay, minus d source type. Okay, what I'm going to take HEC data as the source type. Source type we have not specified over there, right? So here I'm specifying the source type as HEC data, and event. Okay, some of the sample event I have taken. Okay, so this is the particular event that I am going to ingest. So what I'll be doing over here, again I will be coming to the last and I'll be executing this one. Okay, so what I have done over here, I am taking CURL as the request. Okay, minus k, the particular format, whatever the format we have discussed, http colon slash slash server IP address colon 8088 slash services slash collector is the particular endpoint we are using, and minus h is for Splunk authentication method I am using. So authorization colon Splunk, this is the token I am using, and source type as egg data, and event as this one I'll be using. So here we are escaping by using these double quotes. Okay, backslash double quotes everywhere. Okay, so even if you do not use those things also, you can always ingest. Now if you press enter over here, okay, see we have got text as success. Okay, text success, so we should get a success message like this. Okay, text success we have got. Now let us go and check in the web interface, as we have got success. So where we have to go, I have to go to the particular index equals to HEC underscore index. Okay, for all time if I search, see this is the particular data. Okay, that I have got, right? This is the particular data that we have just read. So this is the thing that we have got. See how fast it has come. So this method is the fastest method that it will be getting the data when compared to other things. Okay, even from forwarders or scripted inputs or syslux, whatever it may be, from all these methods, this is the fastest method where we'll be getting the data. Okay, that is what you have to remember. And again, if I go over here, okay, this is the which authentication method we have used. This is the token authentication method we have used right now. Okay, similarly what I'll be using this time, I'll be taking the basic authentication method. So I'll be copying this one, the other, let me have already have this token in handy. Let me copy this token and let me paste it over here, so that I need not scroll in the particular window and need not paste. If I paste it over here itself, okay, so this is the particular token I have pasted, the new token. Okay, whatever we have created right now. So I will be copying this thing. Okay, and now I will be putting this one in my particular this one. Okay, command in the command line prompt. Okay, I'll be putting this one. So now, so what is this? See here, I am using minus u over here. Okay, minus u, because admin as the with the admin authentication. Okay, this is the basic authentication method, admin colon the token, actual token will be using. Earlier what we have done, Splunk authorization colon Splunk, the token name we have used. Okay, this is for Splunk authorization, whereas this is for admin authorization. Okay, so that's why we are using minus u, and admin the particular token we are using, and minus d for the data, and source type, the same source type I am using HEC data. Okay, and event some other event. Okay, so I am using over here. Okay, so now if I press enter, okay, see, even we have got success message over here. So this data will also be ingested into the particular Splunk environment. So if I go and check over there again, okay, so now with the same HEC score index, right? If I check, see, I do have another the event, whatever event I do have. Okay, so these are the particular things that I have copied from the actual events. Okay, whatever I do have, so that is the particular information we do have. So this is the particular source. This is also related to which source type? So HEC data only. That's why we do have only one source type, HEC data. And if you see the source, this is http colon HEC input. This is taken by Splunk automatically. Okay, and yeah, this is the host name. What are the host name that we are getting? So localhost colon 8088 as the particular host name. This data we are getting. Okay, and again if you see the other method, okay, other this time ingestion from multiple events. Okay, we can always do from multiple events also, we can always ingest the data. So this is the particular thing. So here also what I'll be doing, I'll be copying the particular token value and I will be pasting it over here, because this is the actual token that I have to use. Okay, and here what I am doing here also, it is the admin authentication only we are using, but so we do have two events over here. Okay, so one is the particular thing. Okay, so source type data, and this is the hello world as the event we do have. Okay, and the other source type is also from HEC data itself. Okay, and the event we do have hello world 1234. So two events we have, it has to ingest right now. Okay, so if I copy this one and if I ingest the data from here, okay, so I am putting this one. Okay, curl minus k http colon slash localhost colon 8088 services just collector minus u I am using admin colon the token value minus g and two events I am going to ingest right now. Now let us check whether it can ingest these two events or not at the same time, multiple events. Okay, so we have got the success message again, and again if I go over here and check, yeah, see these two events, one is the hello world and hello world 1234. Okay, simultaneously these two events have been ingested as well. Okay, that is the particular thing. And again if we go over here, we do have another method where we can always ingest the raw data directly. Okay, so here, so whatever the raw data event I do have, okay, so we can always copy, okay, from my particular thing. See if I do have something like this, yeah, I can always copy this one. Okay, and what I can do, I can always put the particular information. Okay, from here if I delete this one and if I put, okay, something like, okay, something we can always put like this. Okay, the raw data, directly raw data I am putting over here. Okay, and what I'll be doing, I'll be ingesting this one as well. Let us check whether I can ingest this or not. Directly raw data. So with authentication method we are using -h only, that means Splunk authentication method only we are using. Okay, so I can always use this one. If I paste it over here, okay, and if I press enter, yeah, source type, here we have given a source type data. Okay, and if I press enter, yeah, I have given the, I have not changed the particular token over here. Okay, so command not found, that's what it is saying. I have not changed the token over here. Let me change this. Okay, and now if I copy this one and if I paste it over here again and if I search, okay, so now it will be ingested. Okay, so you can always go here and check again. the same index equals to HEC underscore index. All the data where it is going, HEC underscore index only, right? We have specified. Okay, see, this is the particular the raw data. Okay, the actual log file. Okay, this is the actual log file we have ingested, right? So like this also we can always ingest the particular data as well. And there is one more method where we can ingest JSON data directly. Okay, so here what I'll be doing here, also have to copy the particular token value, otherwise it won't be ingesting the particular event. So I'll be changing this one, the token value. Source type is the JSON I am putting over here. Okay, and event as a JSON value. Okay, I can always put some India if I want. Okay, and in B, right, I can always put Hyderabad, Bangalore. Okay, like this I can always put some values over here. So now let us try to ingest this data as well. So this is going to form as a JSON data. Okay, so that's why the source type I have given as underscore JSON. And so with this one, okay, a value as India and B value with the two values Hyderabad and Bangalore, it has to form actually. Okay, so now let me put over here in the command line interface. Okay, and now if I search this one, it also will be ingested. And if I search this one, now which under which source type it will be ingested, under JSON source type. This is for JSON. All the other things are HEC data. I have taken this as the underscore JSON type. Okay, source type. So that's why it will be ingested in the JSON source type. And see over here, it is ingested in the form of JSON format. So A, India as the value, and B, so if I expand this one, see Hyderabad and Bangalore. Okay, so again if you contract this one, so A is the India we will be having, and B as Hyderabad and Bangalore values we will be having over here. Okay, so like this we can always ingest, okay, the data by using the HTTP event collector. So whatever the data, okay, that will be coming from the outside world. Okay, so what are the APIs, okay, that will be coming from the outside world, we can always expose to the particular endpoints. Okay, so what are the endpoints? We do have two endpoints, right? One is the services slash collector slash services slash collector, another is the slash services slash collector slash raw. So through these endpoints we can always use the CURL as the particular request, and then we can ingest the data into the Splunk environment. Okay, so that is what we can always do. Hope this is clear for you. Okay, and again we will be meeting with another video. Until then, have a great time. Bye bye.